はい、今回もヘンリーの犯罪捜査続きやっていきましょう。ひどい。情報を得るために飲み明かしたんですよね、ヘンリー。ひどい夜でしたね。飲み明かして一夜明けたとこですね、これ。酔いつぶれですね、これ。酔いどれ。
Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. Oh, my guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? Where the fuck am I? What the fuck was it?
この二人ひどいな、酔っ払って。あ、最悪じゃないですか。
I gotta say, Mass. You have to help me.
ミサがあんのに飲んだくれてるって。ひどい。
Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help.
どうやらな、ヘンリーがミサをするようですね。
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose it's Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh.
ひどい。
How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosha's cronies are.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubos.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then. Come. What's the matter with you? We have to start mass. It's already late.
この服装のまま下着姿のまま行くんですか。すげえな。なんだってすげえなっす。飲んだくれた姿のままミサが始まるようですね。評判が上がったり下がったり忙しいな。 ひどい。
Never show up. The swim pole.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'd throw up.
もうバレバレですね。酔っ払いの千鳥足で。
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabilis a manus suas.
ひどい。
Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
今、飲もうとしましたよね、聖杯の。
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will first.
ヘンリーも寝巻きのままで。
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy
言
has
う
a
で
cheek.
惜しいな、かっこいい。おお、ヘンリー。
Just as we are commanded to obey the priests in matters of virtue, so are we commanded to defy them face to face if they live contrary to
揺
God's
れながら。
commands.
Hear that, Godwin?
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness.
ヘンリー。
They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay.
いかに
You
も
want
な
to steal
説
and
教
murder?
ですね。
Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his
Yeah,
milk.
yeah.
And when the wine was
大したもんだ。
gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travelers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right!
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to
こ
pamper
れは
them.
どうやら
They
今回
play
はこ
dice
の
and garb their
説
mistresses
教
in
だけで
expensive furs, while Christ,
終わり
the
そうです
Lamb
ね。
of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates.
これをやり遂げたら犯人を教えてもらえる、犯人の一味の情報を得られるようなんですけど、どうなっぺかなっす。
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him
ヤン
speak.
フスとかで
He who knows little,
実在
let him
の歴史
speak
上の
little.
人物ですね。
Let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbor one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
アーメンってつければ何でもいいと思ってるような。ヘンリーやるな。
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was. The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver
Glad he came
tongue.
here. Don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague. And he told me
なんかうまくいきましたね。みんな満足して帰ってきましたね。暴動にならなかった。
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin,
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
fell out.
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some
情報を得られましたね。
from Ledechko.
今回はここまでですね。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
That lot are about as
次回も
pious
よ
as
ろ
I'm
しく。
ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.